LISP IPv4 Unicast routing in NixOS. In this video, I'm going to show you how we can configure LISP in IPv4 Unicast routing in NixOS. The concept is same as the LISP in the iOS, but the configuration has differences. Because of that, in this scenario, I'm not going to delve into the detail of concept, and I'm going to show you only the configuration of LISP. Here, as you can see, we have three XTR. XTR means ETR and also ITR. ETR is Egress Tunnel Router, and ITR is the abbreviation of the Ingress Tunnel Router. And also we have one map server. This is the map server. And also we have one map resolver. The map resolver and map server in this scenario reside on one switch. Okay, let me to configure this scenario. And after that, as you know, we have three EID space. This is the first, this is the second, and this is the third. And finally, at the final configuration, we will have the connectivity between these EID spaces VPCs. Okay, let me to start the configuration with the NixOS 1. First, we should configure the IP addressing in the NixOS 1. And after that, NixOS 2, NixOS 3, NixOS 4. After that, we need OSPF or some other method of routing in the RLOC space. And finally, we should configure the LISP. Starting with the NixOS 1, I'm going to configure step by step this scenario. NixOS 1 or switch 1. EN, okay, we don't need EN, conf T. Host name is the, for example, switch 1. This is the NixOS 1. The host name should be configured to the switch 1. And after that, we should first configure the IP addressing. If you want, you can configure with the interface VLAN this scenario, but in this scenario, I'm going to configure the physical interfaces. For example, interface, okay, ETH21. This is the ETH21. First, we should convert this interface to the routed port with the no switch port command. And after that, we can configure the IP address on it, IP address 10.141/24. You know that this links is between the switch 1 and switch 4. Because of that, the IP address of the ETH21 is 10.141. Okay, and after that, we should enable this interface, no shutdown. And finally, we need one loopback interface on the RLOC space interface loopback 0, and the IP address of the loopback addresses in this scenario is quad X, and X is the switch number. IP address 1111 quad 1/32. This is the initial configuration in the NixOS 1, only the IP addressing. After that, let me to copy this configuration, and after some change, I'm using this configuration for the NixOS 2. This switch, the host name is switch 2. Interface ETH21's IP address is 10.242, and the loopback IP address is quad 2/32. Let's go to the switch 3, NixOS 3, and the host name is switch 3. Interface ETH21's IP address is 10.343, and the loopback 0 IP address is quad 3. And after that, we have one other switch, NixOS 4. The host name is switch 4. We have 3 Ethernet interface. Let me to copy the ETH21 2 3. Okay, ETH21, ETH22, and also ETH23. 10.141, 10.144 is the IP address of the ETH21. 10.242. Okay, 10.244 is the IP address of the ETH22, and 10.344 is the IP address of the, for example, ETH23. And also we have one loopback interface. The loopback address is quad 3/30, quad 4/32. This is the initial configuration in the, for example, NixOS 1, NixOS 2, 3, and 4. Let me to copy this configuration, and after reaching to connectivity between the switches, we can continue the configuration. Copy the configuration of NixOS 1. Let me to copy this configuration here. As you can see, we don't have any error. Let me to show you show IP interface brief. Yes, we have two enabled interface. And let's go to the switch 2. This is the configuration of the switch 2. I'm going to copy this configuration on the switch 2. Let me to show you show IP interface brief. Yes, the IP addresses is okay, and after that we should copy the configuration of NXOS 3. Look at here in the NXOS 3. Show IP interface brief show us that we have to enable the interface. And also finally the switch 4. This is the switch 4 copy, and copying in the NXOS 4. Look at here. Show IP interface brief show us that we have 4 enabled interfaces. But here we have a problem. Let me to show you. Look at to this scenario. In this scenario is configuring in the EVE-NG emulator, okay? And this is the version of the iOS. This is the version of my iOS. The version of my iOS is Titanium, okay? As you can see the version, okay? But let me to show you one things here. In switch 1, I'm trying to ping the switch 4. Let me to show you. First, show IP route. As you can see, in show IP route, in routing table of the switch 1, we have a directly connected networks 10140/24 that is attached to the switch 1, and as you expect, we can ping the switch 4, ping 10144. Look at here. Ping 10144, the IP address of switch 4, but we can't ping the switch 4. What is the reason? Let me to show you. Look at here. This is the connected IP address, and we should ping it. We should have connectivity to it, but we don't have. Why? What is the reason? Let me to show you the reason. Look at here. Show running config, and for example, ETH21 can show us that all of these interfaces are configured with the same MAC address. ETH21 configured with this MAC address, and also on the NXOS 4, show run interface ETH21. Look at here. Again, we have that same MAC address. Because of that, we can't communicate between these two same MAC address. This is maybe a bug of this iOS. You should change this MAC address, or maybe you can remove the MAC address. Let me to first try to remove the MAC address, because we need different MAC address. You know that MAC address is a unique identifier. Let me to try to remove it. Interface ETH21 with using the no MAC address command, no MAC address. Do show run interface ETH21. Look at here. We remove the MAC address, the fixed MAC address. Do show interface, or show it. We don't need the do. This is NXOS. Show interface ETH21. Look at here. Now the MAC address changed to this MAC address. And after that, let me to try to ping the NXOS 4. Ping 10144. Okay, and as you can see, now we have connectivity. Because of that, maybe it's important in your iOS, in NXOS, that you first remove the MAC addresses, the configured MAC address on all interfaces. Because of that, let me first to remove these MAC addresses. For example, in the configuration, if you have this problem, you can use the no MAC address command on the interfaces. Here, no MAC address. Maybe it's not necessary for some cases, but in this iOS we need to do these commands. Look at here for the loopback. Do show run interface loopback 0. The loopback 0 does not have the MAC address. Because of that, we don't need the no MAC address command on this interface. And after that, on the for example, switch 2's interface, and switch 3, and finally the switch 4, no MAC address, and on the ETH22, ETH23. Okay, let me to copy again this configuration for effect of this command. Look at here, copying the configuration of R1. Maybe you don't need to do this to do this, to use this command in some iOSs, but in this NXOS we need it.